Right before I chose which college I was going to attend, I had earned over $1.8 million in scholarships. And that's a combination of full ride offers as well as different outside scholarship opportunities. By the time that I had graduated from Princeton 4 years later, I earned over $2 million in scholarships. I'm Gabriella Carter, a 22-year-old recent graduate from Princeton University who earned over $2 million in scholarships. I recently moved to New York City, where I made $133,000 last year. I was originally born in Jamaica. I spent majority of my life growing up in London. My parents definitely struggled a lot when they were in Jamaica, which is why they were so adamant about moving us wherever we needed to be in the world so that we can have the best opportunities possible. I think I did always want to go to college, even though I didn't necessarily know what that process looked like at all, because I'm the first person in my family to go to college. So I spent a lot of time on YouTube and Google just figuring out ways to help me pay for college, and that's how I stumbled upon scholarships. In the beginning, I didn't have as much success as I would like, and rejection is not the easiest pill to swallow. I remember getting rejected to 30 different opportunities back to back, and it was demoralizing. But right when I was about to give up, I won a $20,000 scholarship from the Coca-Cola Foundation. So once I got that win, it really upped my confidence again. And because I had applied to so many scholarships before, even though I got rejected, my skills were getting better at writing and articulating my story. So the more scholarships I applied to, the better applications I was able to submit and ultimately have more success down the line. I ended up ultimately choosing to attend Princeton University because of the prestige. I was becoming increasingly aware of how the Ivy League could open a lot of doors that you may not necessarily have access to at other schools. Fortunately, I did not have to stress about money while I was in school. I keep me a few jobs all the time. So I definitely had like 3 different jobs on campus. But on top of that, I received a lot of money in scholarship disbursements, which is basically like when you get a refund check that can go into your bank account. So by the time I had graduated, I was able to save over 6 figures in my bank account, which really gave me a lot of good cushioning to prepare for adulthood. My main goals with the money that I'm saving and investing are definitely to acquire property as soon as possible. I feel like that's a really great way to diversify the assets that I have and income generating opportunities. And then outside of that, I just want to give myself a good head start and cushioning to be able to do what I want. Like if I want to go travel, I don't want to have to be worried about that. Or if I wanted to start a different business venture, I feel like money opens up a lot of doors to be able to explore your dreams and have really unique experiences. So that's what pushes me to save and invest as much as possible. I moved to New York City in July of 2022. My apartment is worth $4,500 a month, and I live with 2 other roommates, and my share of the rent is $1,245. Majority of that food is eating out, but I definitely do cook sometimes. Some of those meals are business dinners and others are for more social activities where I'm going out to eat with friends. I definitely do try to take the train when I can, but a significant portion of that budget comes from taking Ubers and Lyfts around the city. Each month, I allocate around $5,000 to $10,000 towards saving and investing. I save majority of my money in a high-yield savings account, whereas another portion of that money goes towards my brokerage account. I definitely do plan to retire early. And when I say that I want to retire early, that doesn't mean that I don't plan to do work. I just don't want to have to be working to make a living. And I want my work to be more related to my passions. My first job out of college was working as a global marketing analyst. I felt comfortable enough to quit my 9-to-5 job once I was on a trajectory to earn more money than I had the previous year. When I was at my corporate job, I was making $90,000 a year and working 50 hours a week. But now through my business, I'm on track to make $200K this year, and I typically work between 30 to 40 hours a week.
If you need help with your scholarship essays, keep watching this video because I'm about to show you how you can see actual essays that won thousands of dollars.
Quitting my job was liberating, but very scary as well, especially since I'm pretty young and very early in my corporate career. If I had graduated with student loan debt, I think it would have been harder to leave my corporate job because at the end of the day, debt doesn't have to deter you from making the decisions that are best for you in your life, but it definitely can make some decisions like that harder. Growing with Gabby existed offline before it ever existed online. I remember when we had our scholarship banquet at my high school, I had to get up at least 20 times to collect my different awards. That made people very curious about how I was able to have scholarship success. So in my free time, I would just be telling people like different tips and free games. The influx of inquiries for people to learn about scholarships for me kind of got overwhelming. So I decided to look to social media as like the great equalizer so that I could just disseminate information whenever I found it, and people from all across the world can really benefit from my expertise. I started monetizing pretty organically. Honestly, I didn't even know people were really making money like that from posting online until I was approached with an opportunity from a major retailer, and they paid me $2,500 to share about a scholarship opportunity that they had. And once that happened, I was like, okay, I see the value in the information that I'm offering. There are definitely some challenges to being your own boss and running a business as well, especially if you're doing it in terms of content creation. The first that comes to mind is the fact that sometimes your clients won't pay you on time. On top of that, running a business can be really strenuous because even though you're technically not working, your brain is always on since you continue to ideate and think about ways that you can elevate your products, offer more value to your audience, and just become a better business person. And then outside of that, especially being an entrepreneur so young, it can really be hard to find other people who are in the same sphere as you. Growing with Gabby is definitely going to be expanding, which is why I'm super excited about my show. Y'all should tune in when it comes out. But aside from that, I feel like there's always going to be a really big need for people to be able to go to college, either debt-free or at least be able to afford it. So I definitely will be continuing to provide value in that space because that's a part of my testimony. But I do want to create more content and just offer more experiences that talk about money at large, because figuring out how to earn money through side hustles or other ventures as an adult is also really hard, but something that I could help people figure out as well. And then on top of that, I want to be collaborating more directly with different schools across the nation to offer scholarship workshops and really just pour into students in person.